Hello, dear friends. Friday, the 13th of Red October, arrived at last with some ray of hope on the horizon. Opinion piece. Between two worlds, difficult transit, accelerated changes. Revelation brings light. Advance towards the new world. Alexa talks about November 24th. The worlds are not yet separated. Hollow vessels sound louder. Lagging behind in the Ascension process. Nobody knows when the breakup will come. Let's start. We find ourselves between two worlds at the same time. The new one that is being born and the old one that refuses to die. And this leads many to confusion, says Peter B. Mayer. Meditation and concentration would be the basis for passing successfully. Don't think that you are already there or that you already know everything, because those are the old tricks to create confusion. An inquiring mind and an open attitude is the answer against this. We are not there yet. One or two conditions have to be met, preferably both at the same time. The awakening of the multitude and the collapse of the old monetary system. Awakening is a process that requires a lot of time and energy. Few realized it. The decision for final advancement will be made off-planet by Father Mother God. Don't be tempted by other acts. No one on planet Earth knows when the breakup will come. And hollow vessels sound louder. It is a matter of keeping your eyes wide open and waiting with full confidence. One thing is certain, the breakup will come, and even faster if 2/3 of us are really awake and realize where the bell clapper hangs. Each day that passes brings closer the end of a long cycle that shows us the new era. It is a privilege to witness it right now and be part of the great event of the planetary transition. Planet Earth has reached the most important crossroads of our civilization, while no one seems to notice. This is the last chance to save our interests and our civilization. Repairing the damage caused to all the people of our planet may take a long time, but everything will eventually be corrected if humankind awakens en masse and regains control with the introduction of the new QFS monetary system and the replacement of maritime law by land law. When we give away our sanity and responsibility, we also give away our freedom and essentially our life. Awakened humanity will not allow the evil plan to be carried out, and we are willing to fight for it for the sake of our future, that of our children, and that of future generations. Mother Earth, as source of feminine energy, will give everything her children need with the appropriate technology. When the dominant powers disappear and competition gives way to cooperation, the time for abundance and prosperity will finally have arrived. This time, the breakthrough announced by Christ Jesus 2,000 years ago is coming. This is the reason for the accelerated changes. Revelation brings light, change, and healing. The story of what is about to happen will become the biggest news in the history of humankind on planet Earth, and even in our universe. The invention of the printing press, which made it possible to print money and the Bible, led to the Age of Enlightenment and the fall of the Roman Church. Money replaced religion as the new control mechanism of the elite. People hustled to get by and do what they are told with no idea where it all leads. Meanwhile, the illusion has become so great that it is almost undistinguishable from the truth. We are facing a game on the world stage that has reached a turning point according to Dr. Barr. The crucial moment when one side pulls away with an obvious lead, and the opponent needs to decide whether he will concede or double down to retain the momentum to his side. Spectators have become part of the game, although many of them would prefer not to play. Spectators are part of this game and can have a great effect, not only because the game is designed to be seen, but because it is like an interactive virtual video game. Spectators contribute to the result. Whether we have consciously agreed to participate or not, we are part of the game and have choices about how we interact, react, support, and participate directly. Layers. Say Goodbye to False Life by Saint Germain through Jan Castle. If you really want to be part of the great planetary transformation, then you need to start your own transformation. The wilds are not yet separated, and that is why there is still a little time for all human beings. Because even if you are in the last to embrace self-transformation, at the end of the day, it is just a matter of choosing the freedom to break out of your prison of thoughts and bravely take the steps to get there. The great decisions that shake the world have long since fallen, and we are in the midst of the conversion of Mother Earth. Humanity has decided, God has decided, and humankind has chosen the divine leap of consciousness. Now it is about the individual human being, about those lagging behind in the ascension, about those who have neglected their introspection and therefore underestimated themselves. This act of self-love is pending for many human beings, and that is why all the events that make them awaken will come into their lives. Those who were born with the mission to help change the world will be aware of their blocks, so that they can do their part and play their role in the greater whole. Prepare to learn with the certainty that new things bring with it. Be prepared to be surprised by life and let God guide you in everyday life. Develop self-love. Say goodbye to the way of life designed from abroad. Live authentically, self-determined and truthfully, without false considerations. Everything will begin to move when you are ready to change the old and rigid life for the new unpredictable being, passing through fear and reaching love, living doubt and receiving certainty, and surrendering to the universe and experiencing divine guidance. This is the path that is now offered to all those left behind in the transformation process. As a parting gift, goodbye to the wrong life. The transformation of the world is happening now, and your contribution as a newborn and awakened human being is essential. Reset news. The White Hats are discussing going on the attack according to Railroad News. Kissinger believes that Europe made a serious mistake by welcoming so many migrants. Tunisia despises Brussels and returns 60 million euros in aid. You are fueling the war by focusing your attention on it, says Victor. The real prayer to change the war and stop it is to do the opposite of what you do, which is to focus on it. Judy Bington says everything is designed for mass global awakening because the good guys are in control of events. Tony believes that we are close to a global currency reset as we are to touching the eye of the storm, because 6 years ago it was said that Israel would be the last. Google plugs its artificial intelligence into thousands of traffic lights in Madrid to avoid traffic jams. The storm rider believes that Israel has no chance of winning this war. It also predicts Turkey's departure from NATO and the disintegration of the organization. Syria and Lebanon enter the war while Turkey, Egypt, Iran, and Saudi Arabia are waiting. Request. Alexa predicts war. Amazon's artificial intelligence, Alexa, predicts that the Third World War would begin this year when Russia attacks Germany. In quote, on November 24th, 2023, at 6:05 a.m., Russia launches an attack against Germany and France, causing the beginning of the Third World War. In the viral TikTok video uploaded by John Backhouse, he asked Alexa, in quote, what will happen in 2023? The video received mixed responses from netizens. One commented that it wasn't real and was just done to scare people. Another user claimed that only Allah knows. The prediction could be right or wrong. However, it must be taken with caution. The original clip suggested it could be the work of a notorious TikTok trickster, Daily Star reported. Economy. The Middle East conflict affects the price of energy. Dr. Catastrophe affirms that the markets rule out a major conflict in the Middle East. The markets assure that the situation in Gaza, in quotes, is going to get ugly, but the conflict will remain contained in that area and will not affect supply of oil, declared Nouriel Roubini. Treasury bonds maturing in 10 and 30 years have fallen respectively by 46 and 53% since March 2020. That kind of loss explains why just 4 banks, JP Morgan Chase Bank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Citigroup's Citibank, accounted for $4,185 trillion in uninsured deposits, or 59% of all uninsured deposits at the 4,645 institutions federally insured. Citibank, after securing the largest bailout in history in 2008, now has $1.34 trillion in uninsured deposits. War rumors. There are more than 423,000 Palestinians displaced by the bombings. Israel cuts off water supply and gives 24 hours to leave northern Gaza. Israel claims to have hit 750 military targets in nighttime bombings in Gaza. Syria denounces Israeli attacks against the airports of Damascus and Aleppo. Hamas claims that Ukraine sold them the weapons they used in the attack on Israel. Human Rights Watch confirms Israel's use of white phosphorus munitions against Gaza. Hamas is not the Palestinian government, says the Palestinian National Authority of the West Bank. Iran doesn't rule out the possibility of opening other fronts against Israel. The relatives of the Israeli hostages ask the European Union for help. Americas. Peru could lose 1% of its GDP due to a fishing crisis that still has no explanation. Ecuador is in trouble for the supply of electricity. You cannot depend on Colombia. Ambivalent emotional state of Argentines. 62% are happy, but more than 50% want to immigrate. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.